Part 3. The quiet architect of ruin. Leonard's mind became a forge. Every idle hour, the pauses between classes, the silent evenings while Julia worked late, hammered the shape of his plan. He was not impulsive. He would not storm into a hotel room with a weapon or chase them through the streets in rage. That would be crude, obvious, and fleeting. No, Julia and Marcus deserved something enduring. He wanted their betrayal to collapse upon them, brick by brick, until the very ground beneath their feet gave way. The first step was access. Julia's trust, ironically, worked in his favor. She left her laptop on the kitchen counter open, logged into her work emails. She never thought to hide her passwords. After all, Leonard was just the dutiful husband who barely knew how to use spreadsheets. But Leonard had once taught computer history. He understood enough about digital footprints. In 3 nights he had combed through her messages, copied her correspondence with Marcus, even found the hotel receipts tucked into innocuous folders. The affair was documented with precision. Dates, places, words dripping with lust and secrecy. Leonard saved everything. The second step was Marcus. Leonard began to learn his rhythms the way hunters study prey. He followed him after work, noting the bars he favored, the gyms he frequented, the routes he took home. Marcus was careless, perhaps too certain of his own charm, too absorbed in his climb up the corporate ladder. Leonard discovered Marcus had skeletons, not just affairs, but financial ones. Irregular billing to clients, expenses filed under false pretenses, patterns only a careful observer would notice. Leonard gathered evidence, piece by piece, building a dossier thicker than any textbook he'd ever assigned. The third step was patience. He rehearsed conversations in his mind, not of confrontation, but of exposure. Julia adored her reputation, her perfect veneer of respectability among friends and family. Marcus thrived on his image of ambition and reliability. What, Leonard wondered, would happen when those images shattered in unison? He began small. He left hints, invisible threads only Julia might notice. A stray hotel receipt folded into a handbag, a wine cork from Marcus's favorite bar tucked into her dresser drawer. At first, Julia dismissed them as accidents, but then came the day she found her own phone lying face up on the bed, open to a message thread with Marcus. Leonard had not touched it. He wanted her paranoia to bloom naturally. Her eyes darted nervously over dinner that night. "Did you happen to use my phone earlier?" she asked. Leonard looked up from his plate, feigning confusion. "Your phone?" "No." "Why?" She forced a laugh, shaking her head. No reason, but he saw the unease coil inside her like a snake. That unease was fertilizer for his growing plan. The climax would be public. Leonard knew that much. Julia feared nothing more than humiliation, exposure before those who admired her. Marcus, well, men like him lived and died by reputation. To strike them privately would wound, to strike them publicly would annihilate. And so Leonard waited, cultivating his mask of ignorance, letting Julia believe her lies still worked. Meanwhile, he crafted invitations, emails, and dossiers that would one day converge like storm clouds. The storm was coming, and Leonard Hale, once a quiet history teacher, was now its architect.